Oh, yeah. Welcome to How Can She? This is a Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthy casual. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snapper Rose, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
And be Deezy.
No big deal. We got a very special guest for you boys and girls today. We have an unbelievable content creator. The man is wholesome. He's unreal, unbelievable Twitch streamer. We are blessed to be in the presence of His Grace, the King, Tucker with the Kingdom. How you doing, baby? Welcome back. Thanks for coming, baby.
Hey, yo, it is so good to be here, my boys. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's an absolute blast. You guys are like the freaking energy goat, so it's always a pleasure to be here, guys.
We appreciate it. Hey, tell the people where they can find you, man, if they don't already. If they don't follow you already, then unfollow us. That's all I got to say.
You guys can find me on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, X, whichever you want to call it, under Tucker, TUCCRR.
He's the king, baby. He's the king. We got a nice episode today. We're going to go over some of the new cards, some of the cards that are coming up this season. Very exciting season. It's been pretty fun so far. We're obviously going to talk about Kate Bishop, Marvel Boy, and we're going to go over the rest of the cards to see how the season's going to play out. And then we're actually going to go over the data mined cards from October, the Symbiote season, which from what I've heard seem pretty legit. Me and No Big Deal are going to have visceral reactions. I've tried so hard to refrain not to look at these cards. It's been so damn hard because I like doing it immediately, but I've refrained. And then, we're going to talk about how we're going to have a bromance in SnapCon next week. Let's get it! The kid! All right. Tucker.
We're crushing it.
How the heck are you, buddy?
I'm doing freaking great. I'm telling you, the energy is just insurmountable here. Oh my goodness, I love it.
You gotta have fun, dude. You gotta have fun. What the hell's the point of living if you can't have fun, right? How you liking this season so far, man?
Honestly, so like going from last season to this season, I didn't think there was gonna be a huge jump, but it feels like there kind of has been. I mean, like Zoo is starting to rotate more into the meta, and I feel like this week especially, Zoo is everywhere. But I think most importantly, I love that Kate Bishop is a season pass card you can play in like any deck. I think it being flexible is what you really want from a season pass card, opposed to it just being super niche. And I think the arrows add some more spunk, kind of like how like Nico added a bunch of that too when Nico's added last year, and that's kind of like a similar vein. Even though she's kind of more like old Snowguard, but we don't talk about that. But no, I like this card a lot, and I think the new season it's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. No big deal. What do you think so far?
Oh, first of all, I would say just before all that, just not to shill too hard, but I do want to say Tucker's my favorite stream. He's my favorite. I've watched a few. I was hanging there's some good ones. Like I was hanging out with Lufku. He's got a good stream. I like Dexter's stream a lot because he plays Cerebro and shit. He plays all the stuff I like. But Tucker, man, with the Kingdom, the boys, he interacts with the chat. Like seriously, check out his stream if. You guys know I don't just start shilling in the first 10 minutes of the pod randomly. So I'm serious. It's a fucking fantastic stream. So
I really appreciate that.
Check it out, man. It's just basically like this pod, but on stream, and he's better at the game, and me and the kid both. So you get I didn't say you're good. I just say you're better than us. So you can take that how you will. But, yeah, man. It feels like Zoo meta. It feels like last week. I was really into discard last week, and because it's just consistent power you could get out, and all the big decks have been hit quite a bit. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the Zoo deck with the Marvel Boy especially just goes a little bit bigger than the discard. I just don't think the discard deck with MODOK can stand up to the power of a Zoo deck. And so you think, okay, well, maybe you just play Junk or something to counter it. But, Marvel Boy's pretty good against Junk. And TUCCRR is also pretty good against Junk. There, as I found out the hard way, I lost my Snap Judge League playoff match trying to punch the Mockingbird of my opponent's Zoo. And it doesn't work with Cannonball because they got the condom. They're domed up with the TUCCRR. Wrapped up the fucking Mockingbird now, which, I talked about it so much that she's a big dumb idiot now, but I just didn't process this is not going to work with Cannonball. But so Lufku just absolutely lit me up in my Snap Judge League. I was 4-0 too. I was having a good run, but RIP to that run. It's okay. We did our best. And yeah, like the Zoo deck puts out an obscene amount of power. Like Gilgamesh is always 20. I mean, he's always been like a 20 power card, but Marvel Boy lets all your other cards go tall. And the deck's already like you're already limited on board space. So the fact that you could go taller on the spaces that you're already occupying, like Marvel Boy just kind of does all that. So I think he's like really sick in Zoo. I'm not saying like maybe Zoo's the best deck in the game. Maybe it's still Thena or something. Like Thena's deck still seem pretty sick to me, but yeah, I think Zoo is like the baseline. And if you want to go over the top, you have to do some combos or you have to counter the Zoo deck. So yeah, man, it feels like Zoo meta, and I think that's great. Honestly, I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, Zoo meta is fun right now. And the Marvel Boy definitely is amazing. Like especially if you get Squirrel Girl down and then Marvel Boy, like he's a 314 right off the bat.
Yep.
And then TUCCRR is amazing for the Zoo deck, obviously. So you get like power pretty reliably in 3 lanes. Kate Bishop is such a fun card. I agree with you, Tucker. I'm so happy she's a season pass card because she's so versatile. She's got that perfect amount of RNG, which you don't know what you're gonna get, but the cards are good. They're and like some people are calling her like maybe a Jeff replacement in some. He's not like a replacement, but like a card you can use in the Jeff slot where like you need a good 2-drop. She's a great 2-drop to throw in there. And the arrows help fill in the curve, which is awesome. Zoo has been seeing a rise, and with that, we've seen a rise in the Sandman too. Yeah. The old Sand Bay himself, just sprinkling the sand on all the little boys and girls trying to do their, hit monkey stuff. Zoo does, and he's been, I'm not gonna lie, I've never been a Sandman enjoyer, but I've been partaking a little bit in the Sandman abuse.
It's good, man.
It's really good, especially with Ultron. Oh my god. And then you get like, you get the alliance quests for like, fill up all the locations. Chef's kiss, man. You're like, all right, play that Ultron. I don't even care if I lose. I'm just getting points for the boys in the alliance. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, I'm really having a fun time with season pass card, and I think she's gonna be good for a while. So like, I'm excited to see like what more decks we can play with her.
I will say, even though I lost with Junk, I do think that. She like you said, Kid, as a Jeff replacement, I think she does straight up replace Jeff in Junk specifically, just because Acid Arrow is by far the best arrow, I think, out of all 4. And so, 50% of the time you play her, you get it, but also just nice to have something to play on too, because almost the whole Junk deck is like a bunch of 3-drops, right? So Jeff was that, and Jeff was really nice because we were in Arashim Doc Ock turn 4 every fucking game, and having Jeff in your hand is really nice against Doc Ock, So it's like, all right, now I can just play there. So that has kind of gone away, right? Like Doc Ock is a completely different card now. So you actually don't have to worry about that at all. So I think you take out the Jeff, you put in good old Kate Bishop, and ship some Acid Arrows over the other side, baby.
Yeah. It's nice. Tucker, what do you think about like, what are your thoughts on Arashim right now? What are your thoughts on him?
So like, way before like the nerfs like last week and everything too, like Arashim was my least favorite deck to face ever, and I think it's because of like how being able to play a 5-drop on 4 is just so good, and I think that's what really made Arashim like just worse to play into, and it's the unknown of you don't know what your opponent has. But I think Arashim's actually like healthier now, and I think the Loki change kind of helped that a lot as well too. But I still think the Loki change is still a really good change because the card didn't get killed; it just brought a new kind of like Loki mechanics, new archetype now. But I like it. I think it's okay now. Of course, it's still not my favorite matchup, but I get less annoyed playing Arashim now than I did previously. I think also because we have Cassandra Nova, and she's just big power.
Yeah. Cassandra definitely helps so much with that matchup because it's like when you play a 320, then you're like, all right, then the Arashim like person needs an answer, and then they have to answer that while you're doing other stuff. It's pretty difficult for them to like come back from that, especially if you have like a location where like, like, I don't know, the one where they can't destroy your shit. It's awesome to throw like a Cassandra there. I agree with you, man. Cause like Arashim was like, I loved Arashim when it first came out. It was like one of the most fun cards ever. And then like, when people, figure out how to be degenerates with it, like the Doc Ock, the Leech, the Loki, everything, then you're like, oh, it's inevitable, right? With the internet, It's going to happen. Like once that started happening and like a turn 4, you're getting leeched with the old Leech, then you're getting Doc Ock turn 4. You're like, oh my God, like what are we doing here, man? And like, they're not even done. Like they still got like, 15 more mana that they can use later on the next couple turns. So it's like, that was crazy. So the changes are great. Yeah, I have to agree with you, man. Like I've been I don't really mind facing Arshan players now. I'm like, all right, facing an Arshan player, like there's going to be some stuff. I've had some people, like some heroes that are still running leech and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you leech me. It doesn't matter that much, I guess. Like it's not that
Maybe
big
you'll
of a
hit
deal.
1/6 drop or something. Yeah, as long as you're not playing Hela or something, you're fine.
Yeah, even if you're playing like a deck that's like there's a lot of decks don't even run 6 drops, like these Tina decks. If you're playing like, so it doesn't even matter. They're just wasting their time on turn 3. But like I guess if Mockingbird's now 6, so it kind of sucks if you don't play your Mockingbird early.
Yeah, but they use a leech to hit 1 Mockingbird. Like you're fine, you know. Like they still have to play. They still have to pay 4, right? And it's not like leech is a big power card, so. You know, I think you're okay if that's your only card. Like if you're a Tribunal or a Hela player, like you lose, right? So I guess that's the release valve now for Leech. They keep moving the goalpost, but yeah, that's all right.
And I will say the Doc Ock change I've actually really liked. I was a little skeptical about it. I didn't know if he was going to be bad, or good, but I thought he was going to be more bad. But he's been pretty good in Junk still. I still kind of like him. I kind of like him as a 4/8. It's nice. I don't know.
Yeah, he's interesting. He's interesting for sure. And I will say on the Kate Bishop point, I want to be a little forward thinking. I'm gonna I don't know if it's a bold prediction. I think she gets cut from the zoo list. I have a feeling. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I'm seeing her in all the zoo lists. I think it's probably better just to run a Martyr or a Hydra Bob or something in the Kate Bishop slot. She's a 2/3 body, and you're just so limited on board space. And most of the arrows don't do a whole lot. You know, like they're maybe like a Hawkeye, they're like a 1/4, you know, ish value. And like Martyr's a 1/5, like Hydra Bob's a 1/5, Ant-Man's a 1/5, Nico does all kinds of nasty shit. Worst case, she's a 1/4, you know? So and then obviously Squirrel Girl just goes absolutely nuts in that deck. So I think that the 2/3 body, I think you cut Kate Bishop from Zoo, but she goes in so many other decks that it's like, you know, you could play her in Bounce, you play her in Junk, you play her like Tucker said, you basically this is a card you could play in probably half the decks in the game, honestly. So like sick card for sure, but I don't love her in Zoo personally. I think Marvel Boy's sick in Zoo, but I don't love the Kate Bishop in Zoo personally. I want to just kind of throw that out there as I see her in most of the Zoo lists.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's good. That's a decent thought actually. Because you do get limited on board space. I played some of these Zoo decks, and you're probably right. Actually, you probably just want to play like a 1/5 because like you're filling up the whole board anyway. Like they're not moving anywhere.
Yeah,
you know, Martyr's going to stay in 1/5.
Well, I guess if some of the decks don't run Khazar, then maybe a little bit better in those. And I can see the argument for cutting Khazar. He might be the weakest card in the deck. You know, just not as much power compared to every other card in the deck for the cost. But if you are running Khazar, which I think is it's pretty sick. If you are you can do some nasty things with Khazar and Blue Marvel and Gilgamesh, or sometimes you don't get the Blue Marvel, you still play Gilgamesh. So I like the Khazar in there, and I probably would cut Kate personally.
What do you play?
It's an idea, and it's early days, man. I mean, this card just came out.
What about Ironland?
What were you saying, Tucker?
Ironland instead of Khazar.
Oh, that's spicy. I love that. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, that's a spicy pick. Yeah, and then you could put Kate back in. You know, if you're not running Khazar, then it's okay.
Man, Ironland would be great. There's not even a bad hit for him, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hit any of the auras, so you hit a Gilgamesh, you're laughing. It'd be hilarious. He hits Shayna or something,
Plus the new Flaviano Ironlad, you got to be able to showcase that variant.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the new Flaviano. You could show that off. It's great. I've been playing an Ultron deck, like Salmon Ultron deck that has Ironlad. But I kind of missed that card. I haven't played him in a hot minute. I'm like, that's great. He screwed me a few times. He threw out Ultron on turn 4. I'm like, I wasn't ready for it.
But then you go Blue Marvel, and
you got to play him as if he's going to hit Ultron.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't have those cards. I was like, it was great. I was fishing for those ones, not the Ultron. But
not the Ultron.
But yeah, no, it's good. Let's talk about Marvel Boy, man. Marvel Boy is here. He's a 3/2. After each turn, give 3 of your 1-cost cards +1 power. Now I know we kind of talked about him a little bit, but maybe a little bit more of a deep dive on this card. He's the one that's in the spotlight caches, not the season pass card. Is it worth it for people to get this card? What do you guys think?
Tucker, you go ahead, buddy.
So I think If you also don't have Red Hulk and Blob, this is definitely a week to be opening. I think, like, if you look at a lot of the support cards when it comes to like spotlights, which is something like I like to look at, these first 3 weeks of the season, I think are the best weeks to open for cards because they're either archetype defining cards or really good support cards. And like this one specifically, Blob may not be as flexible as he once was, but you can still use him in Thanos and Arishem, and maybe some other like big dumb idiots kind of things. And then Red Hulk is super flexible, but like Marvel Boy himself, you're going to see more in Zoo, or there's an awesome Jeff Hoogland cook that is out there right now, that you're using still Squirrels and Shauna, and you're using like the Kate Bishop stuff. But like I think this is a versatile kind of not tech card because it's not a tech card, but as long as you have maybe just a couple 1-drops, that's extra power to go vertical that you just does passively. Like you don't have to worry about that power specifically. You can be like, I can focus on these other lanes, and if my opponent doesn't add another 2 power at the end of the game, my 1-drops are going to win me that lane by themselves. And I think just that by itself, the only way to shut off Marvel Boy is Red Guardian or Lady Deathstrike. So like there's no other way to really just turn him off. So I think that's maybe he's not over-tuned, but I wouldn't be surprised if something happened in the future. Maybe it's 1 less hit. Maybe instead of it's 3 cards, it's 2 cards. But we're not at a point right now where I think it's OP.
Yeah, and I think too, another thing as well, he like not that Thanos is like a great list right now, but Thanos is okay. Like it's probably like a tier 3 kind of list.
Yeah.
But it's still fun to play. You can still win with it. He is great in Thanos, man. I played some Thanos. You throw those stones down, you get Marvel Boy. Like the stones are just getting way more value than they normally. They get great value themselves, right? But like he's just pumping them up. You don't have to run 1-drops because you got the stones. So like some Thanos lists run like Fastos or like random 3-drops like Kyra. If you're on a big Thanos list, probably want to keep the Kyra. But usually there's room for like 2 3-drops in Thanos. He's a great one to throw in there. He's been working pretty good in the list that I've tried.
And Lockjaw.
Well, you can, yeah. I'm saying. Yeah, Lockjaw is great. Lockjaw Thanos is fun. But Marvel Boy, yeah, I agree with you, Tucker. I think he's good right now. I don't think he's gonna get tuned because I feel like unless like Zoo or some decks like that get completely out of control, then they might tune him down. But like some like even like the Athena decks and stuff, they don't use Marvel Boy, and they're still putting up bigger numbers than him. Mm-hmm. So definitely this week he's a good card to have. If you like Zoo, if you like Thanos, if you like playing 1-drops, like Hit Monkey kind of decks, he probably works in those decks as well. He's a great card to get, and he'll make your decks a lot better. Red Hulk, probably one of the best 6-drops in the game. If you don't have Red Hulk, you're not going to be mad not getting him. And then Blob, my boy took no big deal. Boy took a big hit. The poor guy.
A prayer for my boy.
Pour out a hoagie for him.
He's dead.
But I think they got to make him strong. They got to give him his power back. Poor Blob. But anyways,
no, it's all right.
He's a good 6-drop too. Like he's not as good as he once was, but like you said, Tucker, in those lists he's good. I think it's a good week to open. But I mean, we'll go through all the other weeks after this. But like, man, I want to compare with all the other ones because like there's a lot of good cards I think coming up soon.
Yeah, so I'm coming in like filthy casual mode. I straight up forget like what the next 3 cards are. So I'll just say just in a vacuum, but I have played a lot of Marvel Boy already. Planning aside and just dealing with like this card in a vacuum. Like I haven't even infinite yet this season. I'm at like rank 85 or something right now. So like I got some playing to do, but I've played some Conquest and I was trying to prep for my my SGL match, right? So played some Marvel Boy, and I think he's worth a pickup. Like this just seems like it's like Thena as a 3 cost. Like that's how I would look at it. I don't know how you guys are looking at it, but this just seems like a Thena type of effect. Every turn's a +3. Just like Thena. Now you do have to meet a condition. You have to have 3 1s on the board, which you could argue is easier than playing exactly 2 cards every turn. If you get Kitty Pryde, but you don't always get Kitty Pryde early on in the Thena deck. So you just got to play a couple 1s, and even if you have 2 1s out there, if it's going +2 every time, Marvel Boy ends up as a 3-8, 3-9 spread across the board. Like that's pretty nice. So, and if it's spread across the board, you can't just Shadow King 1 lane and shut the whole thing down. So, this card just seems really good. Like now, how good is Zoo gonna become? I don't know. Is it gonna be tier 0 Zoo? I don't think so. but it seems really strong. And like any deck that runs any amount of heavy 1-drops, like I think you auto include Marvel Boy. And so if you like playing 1-drops, and it seems like a pretty good strategy right now, I think he's definitely worth a pickup. I don't know, just seems like, I guess if you don't like those kind of decks, don't get him. But he doesn't go in every deck like Kate Bishop potentially does. But I think he's worth it, man. This card's sick.
Yeah, Red Hulk is even worth it too. Red Hulk is a great 6-drop.
Yeah, he's good to have
in a lot of decks
for sure. Yeah.
All right, let me get rid of this and let me pull up the next week stuff.
Yeah, Marvel Boy. We're in zoo season, baby.
It is zoo season.
He's pew 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 pew,
Right.
and the animation's pretty
cockroach
sweet.
blood.
The artwork's interesting. I mean, this guy's just this guy's a casual. Like he's chilling, man. He's like, I don't take like being a superhero like too seriously, Like he's just vibing with his little like what are these? Oh, these are like little like laser guns. Yeah, they're like ray guns. Yeah.
Do you want to go over spotlights, just the cards in general?
Sure. Yeah. Check out the whole spotlight one.
All right, we'll go to spotlights. So we talked about Marvel Boy, Red Hulk, Blob. Let's talk about the next week after that is Wiccan, Pixie, and Loki. So Wiccan got buffed, actually. He's a 4/7 now. I think he was a 4/6 before.
4/5.
On reveal, he was a 4/5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they really buffed him. They're like, this guy sucks. He got the Ajax treatment, 5/7.
The Gilgamesh Ajax.
He's an on reveal. If you've spent all your energy this game, +2 max energy. No big deal. What do you think?
Well, as far as this spotlight goes, I mean, this spotlight is stacked. I mean, all 3 Series 5 cards. I think Pixie and Loki are both like pretty nice to have. Pixie's a whole archetype on her own. So if you want to like just play a new archetype in the game, I mean, boom. And this new Loki's pretty cool. And you won't feel like such a greaseball playing him now. Like you won't feel like just a total slimy scumbag. Like he's more fair, but he's still really good. It's a 3/5 Fastos plus Crystal combined that you get the total reduction, which is the better part of Fastos, and your opponent does not draw a card, which is the downside of Crystal. So that's a pretty fucking good card. I mean, so I've been messing around a little bit with this Loki stuff, and I mean, he feels pretty sick. Like he's already won me some games, like just like he used to back in the days. Like, I won this game because I played Loki. Like that actually still happens, just a little bit less frequently. But in the meantime, he's a 3/5, so you're not giving up too much. So spotlight, week, the week of spotlights, awesome. This Wiccan card, I don't know, +2 max energy for spending all your energy. That sounds pretty sick to me. That's my initial reaction. That sounds pretty good. 4/7.
I know. I've heard.
So next turn 5, I have 7 energy. Turn 6, I have 8 energy. Pretty nice. I think this is like a good ass card to me.
Yeah, I'll give my filthy casual opinion. Then we'll talk to the king himself about this. The 4/7 is a nice stat line. I'll say that right now. I like the 4/7 stat line. Now Stegron's a 4/7. He doesn't really get played too much, but still 4/7's nice. Now this condition, especially with like
War Machine.
Yeah, War Machine.
Proxima.
New War Machine.
Proxima. They're great. It's like I like the stat line.
Yeah.
Now to me, this doesn't seem like a horrible condition to meet, especially with cards like Kate Bishop that are coming out, giving you little 1-drops to fill your curve. I feel like if you just play like a nice mid-range deck, you probably will spend most of your energy. I don't think you're going to have to be crazy. Like I've heard people say, like put Quicksilver and Domino in your deck. Like you don't need to make your deck shit to get 2 extra energy.
No, Kitty Pryde. It goes out. You put Kitty Pryde. Put the card.
Yeah,
Kitty
I mean,
Pryde.
like, and then you got to draw him. But like when you draw him, like a 4/7, and then on turn 5 you get 7 energy, and on turn 6 you get 8 energy. I think he's going to be good. I like the card. A lot of people have been down on him, and I guess the argument is like, what are you going to do with that extra energy? Like, I don't know, what the fuck you want with your cards? Like you
play Magneto. I'm just going to play like Magneto on 5 or something. I don't know.
Magneto and Hydra Bob on 5.
It's great.
Wait, no, yeah, you can. Like it's just you can do stuff like that. You can do like why was Arshem so good? Because he has extra energy, right? You'll find things to do with that extra energy. I think I'm positive on this card. I'm like up on this card. No, I could be wrong and it could be complete trash, but like I kind of like it. I don't think it's going to be too hard to fill out your curve on turns 1 through 3. I don't know. What do you think, Tucker?
So like at first I was pretty low on this card, but like I think the more you think about it, the better it can be. Of course, you have to draw the right stuff. Like you can make more usage of maybe even a Quicksilver or a Domino and just fill up the latter half of your deck with Wiccan, and you can make use of Zabu, playing Zabu on 2, Wiccan on 3, and then you have +2 energy on 4, 5,
Ooh.
6, and everything, or even
Nuts.
Psylocke on 2 as well, and you can just go up and up. And Wiccan is kind of like an old Zabu in a way, because if you have 8 energy, you can play 2 4-drops. So I'm thinking about, you're hearing it here first, potentially some Black Knight shenanigans you could do with Wiccan too, to be able to play a Ghost Rider and a Blade on turn 6. Or like, and then you have Hope Summers for some other extra stuff you can do as well. So like, I think this is a potential card that can either reshape kind of what's going on in the meta, or it may just be like, maybe the conditions are a little bit too difficult to hit. Because like, to be fair, you have to spend all your energy going into playing Wiccan, or you don't get the value. It's just like a dead 4/7, kind of like if you don't discard Proxima, you're not getting the best value out of Proxima. But I think like this week overall is a must open week, especially if you don't have Loki and you don't have Pixie. Of course, I'm super high on Pixie because I love that card, and that card I've used in tournaments, I've used in Conquest and stuff. I freaking love Pixie. I'm one of those people who like always has Pixie on 2 though, so keep that in mind.
That's a skill issue. That's a skill issue for everybody else.
Yeah.
Just get good. Just draw Pixie on 2.
Just draw Pixie on 2. But no, I think this is awesome, and I think this is a new mechanic in a way. So like we've had all these cards that have downsides, and you get +1 max energy. This right here, you get +2 max energy. Electro, what? Corvus, who? Erishim, okay. I get 2 energy now, so I can catch back up with Erishim. And I know what's in my deck, so I'm not worried about what I might draw with Erishim if I don't have Loki, or if I even have played Loki. So I think there's a lot of potential with this card. I'm just excited that we're going to have more deck building, which is what I like with every part of the new season, with new season pass cards. And I think that's just what we're getting this entire season, is a nice little refresh. It's not just, oh, we're playing Erishim for the entire season like people were doing last season.
Yeah. I that's true actually. Yeah, because Erishim like just opened the door for everyone, man. Actually, the Zabu and the Psylocke thing, it's almost like a negative, like a Mr. Negative almost, right? Like you just get him out on 3, and then you're off to the races. That's actually that's gonna be fun. Actually, I'm excited for that, because having more energy is just fun. Even like you could have a Sunspot to throw in the deck, you know, like if you don't use the energy, you just soak it up, right?
It goes in a Mr. Negative deck too, right? Because he's a 1/0, so. Yeah, Sunspot. Yeah, you actually could maybe just straight up build a Mr. Negative deck with this guy.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he's a Mr. Negative deck. I'm comparing him in the sense that like you want negative on 3 or 4, so you can put like the Zabos. Yeah, okay.
I know what you're saying, but I'm also saying you might actually be able to put him in a Mr. Negative deck.
I mean,
just
8
the
energy
backup plan
is Mystique and Iron Man on turn 6 too. So you know.
Yeah, that's wild actually. Oh my god.
Yeah,
maybe is this a negative card? You're the Black Knight. No big deal's gonna do the negative Wiccan.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you said, there's so many deck building, considerations. Like we could get really creative with this thing. Sounds like all 3 of us are pretty high on it then, or at least pretty excited for it. I do kind of like the downside case you outlined though, Tucker, because I haven't thought like I said, I just looked at this card now. I think we looked at it in the data mines like 3 months ago. I don't even remember it from then. Some stuff happens since then. It's been hot out. Zaps your brain cells. The downside case, like as you were outlining it, it kind of does remind me of War Machine, because like Professor X was in the game when War Machine came out, and everyone was saying like, oh, like when it like it's such a cool effect and it's game breaking, and when it all lines up and then you can play in the Professor X lane, like it was like War Machine had a lot of hype because it was this game breaking effect. You played it on 4, like it was a 4/6, and Professor X was like peak Professor X powers at the time. So, and then War Machine kind of flopped as it came out. So maybe, that like the downside thing could happen. Like maybe it is just too hard of a condition to meet, or there's not enough you can do with the +2. But I think there will be enough that you could do with the +2. Like I'm just gonna put big shit in my deck. Like I don't know, like. I don't think we got to overthink it too much, just have some 1-drops and a higher curve. But yeah, maybe just throw a Domino as your only 2, and I mean you're off to the races. Let's go.
Yeah, or the other way you could play it too is like just put it in like a good cards deck as well, because you can use that energy, and if you don't draw the conditions, then you still have a good deck, right? Like, just throw the other card, the Loki. Maybe that's why they have Pixie in here. They usually put cards that go together. Like, you put Loki in your deck, like it's pretty sweet. If you have Loki on 3, Wiccan on 4, that's pretty nuts.
You didn't miss the condition, so it's like, all right, well, I didn't spend all my energy. Let me just play Loki.
Just alternate ramp approach, like, because you're doing Electro stuff now. Like, it could be like, okay, well, I didn't draw Wiccan. I'm playing Electro, and I'm going to blink out the Electro now. And then now I also get the Wiccan value because Electro turned into Wiccan, and now I have an extra 3 energy for the rest of the game. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, bro, you're cooking right now.
Okay, wait a second. What's that?
You're getting me excited.
Play pattern again. So you Electro on 3?
Electro on 3, blink on 4. Electro turns into Wiccan randomly, of course, and then you have energy. So
Jesus Christ, I had to visualize it, visual learn. But yeah, you're right. That because you're spending all your energy on the 5 on turn 4. That counts as spending all your energy. Yeah, that's insane. Or you Cersei happens to you roll Wiccan.
Yeah,
because it's at one cost higher.
Yep,
you never know.
Man, there's going to be some wild highlights. I'm excited, actually.
I love that.
But this week is awesome. I mean, like, Loki, unbelievable card still. Wiccan, we all are pretty high on Wiccan. Who obviously we don't know if it's going to be great or not, but I think we're all pretty excited for it. It seems like an interesting card to be anyway. Pixie, really, 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 really fun card. I love Pixie decks. They're so much fun. Are they extremely competitive? For people who are really wanting to, like, you save the resources? No, not really. They can be, but she's fun as hell, man. And she's like a card, and it's about having fun, right? And she's a card that's like, she's a nice card to have in your collection because then you can just play like a random Pixie deck. It's a whole kind of archetype, and it's so much fun.
She's kind of like adding Mr. Negative to your collection. That she's basically is just like a different flavor of Mr. Negative. Like the whole deck is built around her. And you could just play Marvel Snap in a completely different way just from owning one card. All your other cards are just like played differently, which is really sick.
I'm thinking Airshim right now. Also, if that's going to be disgusting. If you can get on 3 the right way, and you can get Wiccan down on 3 with Airshim, I'm sorry. My mind's going everywhere. But
that would be wild. That would be wild too.
I'm scared to play him with Airshim just because I don't know if I could spend all my energy. Like. You'd have to draw, and it'd be tough to draw, because Arshim's giving you, random shit, right? So I'd almost be scared. But if you could do it, you
just need him on 3. You need him on 3.
But you need to spend your energy on 1 and 2. That's the challenge. And it wouldn't be as much of a challenge if you're playing, a Kitty Pryde deck, for example,
Or you put Kate Bishop and Domino in your Airshim lists.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, that would be the Quicksilver deck. Yeah, just put the Quicksilver in Domino and Irish.
But you have 1 extra energy, so you need to spend a way to spend
so maybe energy. Not Quicksilver, then just Domino.
That's what
still have 1 extra energy.
With the Kate Bishop. You play Kate Bishop, so you can put Domino and an arrow down on 3.
Yeah.
No, turn 1 you play. Oh yeah, you get Domino on turn 2. Yeah, you're right. You guys are right. It doesn't line up. Yeah.
But
what are the odds?
No, what are the? Just quoting Domino.
He's great, man. They gotta make her a 2/4. Pump her up to a 2/4, man. I like that card.
Yeah.
I don't care that she was in a meta deck for a week one time. Let's pump her up to a 2/4.
But you get the variant now if you also refer a friend with Domino, the Dan Hip Domino.
So that's true.
Exactly. Let's pump these variants. Let's get her a variant buff, a cosmetic buff.
All right, let's do August 20th. August 20th to 27th starts in 11 days. We have Speed, Iron Lad, and Jeff. Speed is a 3/3 ongoing +1 power for each turn in which you spent all your energy.
Hey, well, synergy.
What do you guys think?
What do you think, Tucker? I got to read this again.
So he's Wiccan's brother, so it makes sense that they synergize together. I think this week overall is another must buy because you got Jeffrey and Iron Lad, which are 2 absolutely incredible flexible cards. Iron Lad, like we were talking about earlier, though, of course, has kind of shifted out of the meta in a sense because there were just other cards that had better abilities than just copying the text of your top deck. But I think these 2 cards are amazing cards to have in your collection because they are versatile. But Speed overall is probably one of the lower ranked cards for me for this season. It's cool that it is ongoing. So like at the end of the game, if you spend all your energy, it's a 3/9. So it's something that happens passively, and that's not and something your opponent can like easily. You can't Shadow King it. You have to Enchantress it or Rogue it. But I don't know. I think the 3 slot is just so weird to me. Because when you think of 3, you think of Surfer, and I'm not really putting speed in my Surfer list over a bunch of the other tech cards. So I think that's kind of where I fall there. I don't think it's the bad card. I just think it's just not as good as a lot of other cards at its position. But this week overall is another just fantastic. It's 3 for 3 bangers this season. So like I think if you're gonna open for Iron Lad and Jeff, you're not mad if you get speed because this is all Series 5 cards, but
Yeah, I was. Let me say, just now that I've had 20 seconds to adjust it and listen to Tucker talk about it, I think this is a bad card. I straight up, I just think this card's bad. I will say, I see why they made it 3. They made it 3 because you play speed, then you play Wiccan, so it's on the curve, right? So you play your 1s and 2s, maybe play Domino on 2, Kitty Pryde, whatever on 1, and then you go speed 3, Wiccan 4. Makes sense. You're spending all your energy. And already he's at a 3/6. I think the number is simply too low on this guy. Same thing as 5/5 Ajax and 5/5 Gilgamesh. I think the number is simply too low. We're just talking about Marvel Boy being a 3/14. Like, like Strong Guy's a 3/9 and discard like pretty reliably a 3/9. And you really got to be getting some mileage out of your 3s. Like Hope Summers does some really nasty shit as a 3-drop. Like, and even Elsa could get to like easily a 3/7, and she's cut from a lot of these lists. Like Copycat has a devastating effect, and she's a 3/5, So I think I don't think this guy does enough. I mean, he's just power, and so say you spend all your energy for all 6 turns, he's a 3/9. Like that's the reward you get. Like this guy should be like a 3/15 if you spend all your energy for all 6 turns. That sounds really hard to do, like to me, especially if you're playing Wiccan. Now you got to spend how many cards do you have? Like you're gonna have to spend seven energy on 5 and 8 energy on 6. Like it's gonna be really hard. This guy's gonna be like on average like a 3/5 or 3/6, I think, and I think that's really bad. And I think it's no coincidence that they put the bad card of the season and they put freaking Iron Lad and Jeff in the same cache. It's not by design. Remember last time Jeff was in a cache, there was no card. It was just Jeff by himself, and they basically did the same thing again. Luckily, at least you get Iron Lad here. If you don't have Lad and Jeff, open this cache. But my God, you're gonna have to maybe sweat. I'm gonna be skipping this week for sure if these stats hold up. I mean, I could see them bumping this guy's power up beforehand, like they did with Ajax, because kind of knew that was the case with Ajax too.
Yeah, this is the card that I'm the least excited for this season. I think he'll be like, I think he'll be honestly like a reliable 3/7. Probably. You don't spend energy on 2 turns, but like, is that enough in this kind of meta? No, because like you said,
the
3-drop
+2 for each turn.
No.
Okay, +1. Yeah. I was saying it's +2. Forget everything I said.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. He's +1. So like, I think you could do 4 turns where you spend all your mana, and like spending all your energy is like it's tough to do, because if it wasn't tough to do, then cards like Red Hulk and High Evil Hulk would be complete dog crap cards. They're not, because you don't spend your energy. Like it just happens. You can't curve perfectly. And if you want to like build decks to curve perfectly, you're not going to be doing like crazy things that like kind of cheat, the meta, or you're not doing unfair things, right? So like he's at best a 3/9 if you spend everything, 3/10 if you use Limbo. Is that enough? No. Play the Chadiator is probably better, honestly. There's a lot of other 3-drops that are just, I think, going to be way better than him. He'll be consistent 3/7, probably 3/7, 3/8 maybe, but like I don't think that's enough, honestly. And it's like, it's not a fun effect. It's boring too on top of it. So not only do I think it's going to be not enough, it's just like, okay, he just kind of gets power, like whatever, who cares? I mean, onslaught value, but whatever.
Yeah, he's like a more boring Darkhawk, or a more boring Devil Dino. It's just like +1. Like, all right.
Yeah. But Jeff and Iron Lad, like Jeff is like, how many times is everyone gonna say you got to get Jeff? And Iron Lad's just an awesome card to have. Again, like not like in favor in recent decks. He comes in and out of the meta, but like he's a card that's just always, I think, good. To to have. He's a card that's good to have because, like we were talking about at the beginning of this pod, like I'm like, man, I really enjoyed putting Ireland in my decks again. Like he's just, I've been having a lot of fun with him. He's been doing great. But yeah, these two cards really good. Speed, I'm not convinced, man. And they might adjust them before.
I'm gonna be skipping this week for sure.
It's 3 Series 5 cards, which I mean is cool, but like,
yeah, that's about it. That's the only cool thing, right?
Yeah.
Then we got the last week of the season. We have Emperor Hulkling, Cannonball, and Nimrod. So 2 Series 5. Nimrod's the only Series 4 here. Emperor Hulkling is a 6/11 at the start of the game. Copy the text of a random 6-cost card. What do you guys think?
I love this, man. This is crazy town. Like, this is like six cost copycat, right? But instead of like, you get no disruption, you get no information. Unfortunately, like kind of like copycat gives you, and there's a lot of bad hits too. Not bad hits, but like hits that kind of do nothing as well. Like Destroyer's a bad hit probably, but most of the hits are probably like they don't do a lot. But the ceiling on this thing, like if I get a 6/11 Arnim Zola or something like that, or I mean, I think we went over it last time we did the Dynamite kid. We went through all the 6 drops.
Yeah.
So I don't want to bore everybody with that, but yeah, man, I love this card. Like he might be bad, but I really want to get him because he just seems really fun and so like this is the definition of a surprise card.
Yeah. What do you think, Tucker?
So I think this is the worst spotlight week of the season. Because the support cards with Hulkling. I think, like you said, his ceiling can be really high, but his floor can also be really, really low because this card you also still have to draw even after the 6-cost thing happens. I think definitely like a Zola hit is amazing. A Doom hit is incredible. A Galactus hit is freaking, surprise. Like, oh, shoot. Okay. But I think at the same time, it's like, those are like 3 or 4 good hits. Then there's like 15 meh hits. There's like 5 situational hits. And then there's like probably another 5 to 7. These are horrible. Oh, I just got Agatha. I just drew.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going well. Let's go. I'm about to throw Wiccan down. Agatha. Okay, well, I guess I can't. I just cry right now. But like, it's like this stat line is also interesting. It's like he's got the same stat line as Scar, but like Scar, of course, his ability, if Hulkling gets his ability, oh sweet. But I'm not playing Big Dumb Idiots. Right now, I am playing Loki. The highest power card I have in my deck right now is Gladiator. I only have 8 power. So maybe I'll get something to discount it. So I think it's going to be kind of a situational, a nice, like you said, though, surprise card. Something you can snap into because I just got something amazing kind of thing. But I think when you look at the support cards with it, Nimrod, of course, you're seeing in Phoenix Force, you're seeing in some like Destroy with like Shuri stuff, but still like Destroy is so telegraphed and everything too, and people see what you're playing down. They're like, okay, well, they haven't snapped yet. I'm going to retreat for 1. And it's just like, okay, well, I don't really want to do anything here. And Cannonball is a good card, but not a great card anymore. After the Professor exchange and then Blob being able to be moved, I think really affected this card. It was kind of just like a stray that Cannonball caught, even though Cannonball wasn't even super prevalent when the Blob change happened. I think this, like when you look at this week and then you have like the following week with the new season and stuff, like I think you may skip this week if you're looking more for September, October kind of thing. So I don't think Emperor Hulk's a must-have, nor either of these other cards, especially if you've already went 12 deep in spotlights this week, next week, and the following week. I would save up for some of these other cards instead.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, like Nimrod's a Series 4 card. You should never be opening for Series 4 cards. You should always use tokens for them whenever you can. Cannonball, personally, I love this card. I think it's a great card, but you're right. It's not prevalent in the meta as much. The blob nerf or whatever they tried to do with the blob change.
Doc changed pretty big.
Hurt it. The Doc change hurt it.
Yeah.
It's still a nice surprise card, but again, like it's not that you're not going to open spotlights for 1 card. Hulkling, I will say this. I am 100% getting this card because I'm really excited because it looks fun as hell. Just the random shit, like a 6'11 leader, like just the random stuff that we're going to be able to do. Like I live for that kind of stuff because I don't really care about my rank or anything. Like I'll just, be ranked 400,000. I don't care. But it looks like a lot of fun. But is it going to be good? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be like an okay card. And I think when it comes down to it, like you're going to want other 6-drops in your decks if you're trying to be competitive and good. But if you want to have fun, I think this is going to be a ton of fun. And it is going to have, you mentioned this, Tucker, but it is going to have some really good snap equity. Because like if you get a good hit, like they don't know you're playing Emperor Hulkling. Mm-hmm. They don't know what your Emperor Hulkling hit. And then you throw down like a 6/11 Doom, a Galactus, a Leader, whatever the hell it is. It's gonna be wild, right? So it's just gonna be hilarious, and I'm excited for it. But yeah, when you get Agatha with Emperor Hulkling, you're gonna cry.
Yeah, I pulled up the 6-drop list. There's 4 that are pretty rough. Infinite, Agatha, Destroyer, and Giganto are all pretty rough hits on this. There's a bunch that do nothing, but there's a lot of great hits. I mean, when we talk about She-Hulk, like She-Hulk's pretty, it's fine, I guess. It's one more power, but you get a. They don't know you have a She-Hulk. They don't know you have a Sasquatch, for example, right? Mm-hmm. So you can make some plays here. Tribunal might not be great, but yeah, it's interesting for sure. Like Mockingbird's probably pretty decent. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
But like Valentina is the other one I would think of too. Is like in a situation where I'd rather have Hulkling or I'd rather have Valentina in my deck. Mm-hmm. And I think Hulkling, of course, both have a great surprise factor, and of course, there's the downside with Valentina, and it's kind of apples to oranges because they're not exactly the same. But at least with like Valentina, I'm also guaranteeing it's going to be in my hand. Whereas like Hulkling, I still have to draw the card.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. If we're skipping weeks in a season, this is definitely a week to skip. Yeah. Like you don't need any of these cards. They're not cards that are like integral to anything. I mean, look at the untapped stats. Cannonball's tier C. For some reason, Nimrod's a tier B over Cannonball, which is
Phoenix Force things.
Yeah, Phoenix. I play Cannonball in my Phoenix Force deck.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I love Cannonball and Phoenix Force. It's amazing.
Okay.
I play the Jet version, not the Nimrod version, though. The Nimrod version does not need Cannonball. But yeah.
Unless the OTA changes him, and maybe Cannonball goes to a 5/7, and then we're like, oh, crap. Well, maybe that extra power on Nimrod makes him 14 power for those Shuri list, and then we're like, yeah. But
dude, if Nimrod was a 5/7, that'd be so sick. I would love that.
Insane. Yeah.
I love Nimrod. Nimrod's a fun card, man.
Yeah.
Just making those pink Kirby's all over the board is hilarious, man. I love it. But yeah, I agree. This is a skip week.
I do have a couple quick closing thoughts on Hulkling. I think it'd be pretty interesting in Hella. Number one, like this is a pretty cool Hella card. I think you don't mind discarding it, right? You don't hit something, whatever.
It becomes Hella,
and especially since we kind of lost Blood, like all these Lockjaw lists too. Like if you could get some sort of Lockjaw ramp, that deck's not really what it used to be though, as with the 4-drop. But this is a pretty interesting Hella card. Also, I mean, like you guys said, this is definitely not a Spotlight Cash week. So there was a sweet Destroyer bundle last week that gave you 6K tokens for gold, which is like 7,500 gold was awesome. Mm-hmm. If you missed out on that, right now there's a Taskmaster bundle in the shop, 5K gold for 4K tokens. Cop that baby, and then you'll have your 6K ready to fuck around with Hulkling when it comes out. It's funny. You could spend cashes week 1, you could skip week 2, and then you can spend 6K on Hulkling because we don't need to do it.
Even though the Taskmaster bundle is very bad value right now, guys, please look at that before.
Don't get Taskmaster.
No, the bundle, like if you look at like the stats on it too, like it's not a great bundle for gold, unfortunately.
Okay, so every token Tuesday.
Those are better. Those are better. But it does stink. That's a different conversation with the gold bundle stuff. But
go on Marvel Snap Zone, look at their stuff. Go look at Kirellis on Twitter. He always has the bundle breakdowns. Amazing. Don't listen to No Big Deal.
I go 8-brain. If I see tokens for gold, I'm clicking.
Hey,
unless it's like totally out of whack, Destroyer bundle was sick value though, right?
It's the best bundle of the next.
Yeah.
That's the one I bought. Yeah.
That was the really good one. Yeah.
That was
No Big Deal is the budget person on this podcast. I'm the whale of the group. I'm gonna get all these cards.
I gotta service the filthy casuals. I'm one of them.
Yeah. All right. Let's. I'm excited now. I want to get to these October cards. I'm pretty pumped. The symbiote season. Symbiote season. Should we do spotlight caches? You want to go? Let's do spotlight caches. We don't know if they're going to be actual spotlight caches, but yeah, they're subject to change. Blah blah blah, all that stuff. But let's start with just the season pass card. All right. Let's look at this stuff. October 1st, season pass. Agent Venom. He's a 2/4 on reveal. Set the power of all cards in your deck to 4.
Cerebro.
What the Is this
C4, baby?
Is this cracked?
I don't know about that. But...
It can.
Oh,
be.
yeah, Mr. Negative too. Yeah.
Man, what if you're playing like a Hitmonkey deck? Or
Ooh.
like with Iron Man, with Mystique, with like...
Yeah, you take out Bast, you put this guy in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything's a 4. You're playing low-cost cards anyway. Like a Bishop becomes a 4. Like Hitmonkey becomes a 4.
All your
Mysterios
Mysterios are 4.
Like I said, Iron Man, Mystique. What'd you say, Tucker?
All your Mysterios get 4 power.
Your Mysterios are all 4?
Zero's a 2/4.
Bro. Like you obviously can't play cards like Mockingbird. You're gonna have to play scaling cards. I guess you could play Mockingbird if you want, but what?
You have Shadow King to reset Mockingbird back to 10.
Oh my god. Oh man, this card looks sick.
Mm-hmm.
This card looks fun for those kind of decks. Like obviously you're not going to be playing like big decks like, Big Dumb Idiots. You're going to screw yourself, but like man, this card, and it's a 2/4, which is a pretty nice stat line. Wow. I don't know. A Dracula dump deck, like Dracula becomes 4. Like actually no, because then you want big idiots in that deck.
You want to buy your big boys later.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm spitballing off the top of my head.
I like it.
No big deal. Initial reactions for you.
Initial reactions: Cerebro 4, Bounce, and Mr. Negative all seem like really sick with this card. Just to start, and just any deck that runs the card Bast, right? You want set to 3. Like why not just go to 4? It's even better. It's like a better Bast. This is like a much better Bast. But Bast hits your hand. This hits your deck. Maybe you play both in the same deck. Who knows? So this seems pretty sick. Obviously, doesn't go in every deck. It's a niche scenario. You got a bunch of big boys in your deck. This is very bad, but I love it, man. This seems sick. Hopefully, it's not busted. I mean, they might have to make him like -2 power or something.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's a season pass card, so it's nice that
I don't know how else
you'd
you balance it. I mean, I guess you could change the name to 3, but then there's already a lot of stuff that does that, so that might be even more synergy to go over 3 with everything.
Tucker, what do you think, man?
I think it enables a lot of more deck building, and I think that's what I like about season pass cards. It makes the season fresh, and I think like this right here, you can play it even in Athena list right now, and you can get some immediate value there. Your Darkhawk starts at a 5/4 instead of a 5/3. That like 1 power makes a difference. Athena starts at a 2/4 instead of a 2/1.
Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde's a 1/4 to start. Like I think it's gonna be interesting to see what all you can mesh this with. And you're not playing it maybe in a list where you have people a lot of power, or you are, and so you lose priority going into the final turn, and then you plop down a Luke Cage, and everything goes back to normal. So like, who knows? It's gonna be really interesting to see what people build with this. This season overall is just deck building to the max, and I am super pumped for it.
Man, this is a good start. This looks pretty sick. I'm pretty excited about it. That's awesome.
Oh, the Luke Cage made me a little bit sad now that you brought that up. Yeah, you could just because it's going to be people just playing this or playing Luke Cage, right? Yep. It's going to be the 50-50 meta, the hot location meta, if you will.
Hot locations. Don't get me started on that. Fucking second day of the season. If you don't hit infinite on the first day, you're screwed the next day.
Yep.
Friggin' goddamn hot look. Sorry. I won't swear too much. I won't get into it. Like I was so pissed off the second day because I was like, just wanted to play a little casually. Oh, turn everything to a random 6 drop. Like, all right, let's just fucking ruin my ladder experience.
Sorry, I don't mean to make it all hot and bothered.
Ironlad value, not Ironlad, Ultron value every single time you go into Black Vortex.
Yeah, exactly. Or like the random Galactus. We're like, oh shit.
I aim for Destroyer. I try to get Destroyer every time. Just call it out one time.
I love it. Or you get like your the guy gets like your opponent gets a Magneto and you get like a Zola for your first card and it's like just a 0. You're like, man,
that's a retreat. Shit.
Anyways, I digress. Let's go to the first Spotlight week, which is going to be Scream, which is a card that's coming out with Agent Venom, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Scream is a 2/1, not an on-reveal or an ongoing. Just when an enemy card moves, steal 2 power from it once per turn. Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Kingpin action,
No big deal. What do you think? First reaction.
I mean, this is just clearly just made for one deck, and I really like that deck, and I play that deck a good amount. And I think this Kingpin buff to 1 power was really helpful for him, and I think it's a legitimately viable deck. The Kingpin, Craven. We just got the Stegron buff. Stegron's a 4/7 now, reliable. You could always move something. Spider-Man moves a card every time. So I mean, there's just so many things. Arrow, Magneto. God, if you play Magneto and you move like 3 things, what happens? What happens to this? Like
Only plus 2 power once per turn. It says
when an enemy card moves, steal 2 power from it. So you move once
per turn.
What?
The brackets once per turn.
Oh, but I didn't know if that counted as like 1 instance though. Like that was 1 steal per. Like then you're not ping ponging. So I wonder if Magneto, like if I Magneto their Brood, can I just minus 6 on the Brood? Like I don't know.
I think it's minus just 2.
It'll just take from 1 Brood.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. They got to balance it. I mean, this would be like a 220 sometimes if so that makes sense. They wouldn't do that, but yeah, man, or like it just hard counters Heimdall, which I mean Heimdall, it doesn't need all that hate. So yeah, man, I really like this card, but it definitely seems niche, and I don't know if it's gonna be good, but I think it's gonna be very good in the Kingpin deck, like core, awesome, like maybe the best card in the deck, honestly.
Yeah, in these moving decks, like okay, so what are the cards that move the other people's stuff? Like you have Spider-Man, you have Stegron,
Polaris.
Polaris. I mean, if you do
Arrow.
2 moves, Arrow, if Magneto, if you do 2 moves, this thing's a 2/9, right? Because it gets 2 power and you're taking 2 from the opponent's stuff.
Yeah, it's 4 power every move, basically. Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. This card's going to be really good in those. Now, are those decks going to be good? I don't know. Can this carry them?
Maybe. I think that deck needs this.
It does, yeah.
I mean, Cozy's been saying that for years now. Even like over a year. He's like, the move deck. They just need a little scaler. They just need a little scaler. And hey, there you go. They got one. And the Craven's already kind of that. So if you got Craven and a Scream, you could be pumping in that deck.
Well, even so, like even if it's just like even if you just put it in like a deck with Magneto, like it's a 2/5 then, right? Which isn't like horrible. Mm-hmm. You'd want more than 1 proc probably, but like even just once is not like the end of the world, right?
Another thing too is there's a lot of Nocturne, Jeff, Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
All of these cards are top tiered cards right now, and there's so many decks that run all 3. Anything with Kitty, Angela, like. All 3, so just naturally, like kind of like Cassandra Nova to our.
Oh my God!
this kind of is the Cassandra Nova to the Thena deck, or at least you're gonna have to build your Thena deck differently. You're not gonna be able to play all those cards because even if you move, like you can't move a card. Literally, you can't move your Jeff. Like it's gonna be a 2/1, and you give them 2 power. You actually can't move Jeff, once. So you just turn their Jeff to a brick, basically. Or like a vanilla 2/3, not which is basically a brick.
Oh wow, yeah. Tucker. All right, what do you think? And we'll stop rambling. This is like our visceral thoughts.
So I think that the Jeff and Nocturne is immediately where my head went to.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking even not in that situation, you play this in C5, and you just have Polaris and Spider-Man, and that hits 2 cards to get Scream to a 5 right there. So you're also afflicting negative power to your opponent and gaining power itself. But I think more indefinitely, you might be able to play Professor X again. And you tuck this into Professor X lane. Oh, you want to move your Jeff over here? Okay, sure. Your Jeff doesn't have the power it wanted to anymore. And I think it's just going to be really cool. And I think, like you said, this is a card that I think we needed something like this because of how good Jeff, Nocturne, even the Vision. People are playing a lot of Vision right now. Yeah. Captain Marvel is also making a bit of a comeback.
He's back, yeah.
I think this week holistically is just a token week. Opposed to Man-Thing and Mobius, unless you don't have Mobius, maybe, but I think it's going to be solid. I wonder if this is a full Series 4 week. I doubt it because Series 4 cards don't release anymore. They have to be, of course, drop down to Series before that. Yeah. But I think this card's going to be a lot of fun. And she's got some freaking amazing variants. All the symbiote variants we have coming out, not even just like the spotlights. We actually have more variants coming to the shop, so you don't have to just use spotlights to get variants for cards. Let's freaking go. I'm excited.
Dude, yeah, maybe this card is really good because they're putting it with some cards that are like kind of a little bit poo-poo right now. Yes. Like Man-Thing's like Poor man thing.
Yeah, you don't roll.
Mobius is like a decent card in general, but like he's in like no decks right now, like barely. You know,
He'll be back next week with Pixie though. I tell you what.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that's it.
Moby's good for the collection. Moby's you gotta have him in the collection. Yeah,
yeah, but he's a Series 4, so like Tucker said, you don't want to spend spotlights. Mm-hmm. This is like your destroyer bundle stonks. You know, you get Scream, save.
It's good to bank those tokens, man. I got them ready. I'm ready for Scream and whatever the Hulk guy was. I'm ready.
Per Hulkling.
Oh, dude, this card's gonna be good. I'm pretty excited for this card.
Oh yeah.
At worst, it's a 2/5, but like 2/5 stat line. But it's but it's not just a 2/5. It's like a 2/9 because you also stole 2 power 2 times. So like
it's 2/5 after one move.
Yeah.
2 is now it's a 2/9. Yeah, and now it's 2/9's crazy.
And then you get like random locations like Bifrost. Oh, bro, do you put this guy in like a Hercules? Like, what about Hercules? Hercules goes nuts, man.
But once per turn, isn't it once per turn? Though?
No, never mind. I'm just getting so excited.
I know that's what I did with the Magneto. I'm with you. I did the same thing. I'm like, if I'm playing Magneto, I'll move everything. Magneto into the Kingpin. -4 everything.
All right. So the first 2 cards seem pretty sweet. The first card seems really like a really unique, interesting effect. The Agent Venom, like it's gonna, like you said, Tucker, it's gonna have like a wild deck building consequences. This Scream just seems like a good card and will bring like more life to cards that are played like a little bit less, which are some of these move cards, which man, that's gonna be cool. The Prof X is a wild call too. Like
that's really smart. Yeah, that's interesting. You can't go in there now.
Yep. Yeah. Sweet. All right. Yeah, and this Spotlight week seems like poo poo.
Also Ravonna value. At a 2/1.
Oh man, it's a Ravonna card too. That's sick. All right, who's this one? Misery.
Oh,
okay.
Finally get to pick up Namora.
Yeah.
All right, it's coming up.
Misery is a 5/10 kit stats, pretty much. Or all right stats. On reveal, repeat the on reveal abilities of your other cards here, then destroy them. Oh, jeez. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Is that cracked? That seems cracked to me.
Like a destroy card. I mean, like a destroy card, right? I mean, that's where my brain first went because they're all the whole deck is on reveal. Like, you know,
I feel like this is gonna get nerfed.
Electro ramp as well. You can destroy your Electro and get extra energy for the next turn.
Oh yeah, Electro into this is pretty sick.
Oh my god, yeah, and you get more. We get like another energy, right?
Yeah. So
why is he a 5/10? He doesn't need. This guy doesn't need to be a 5. His effects are good enough. He doesn't need a big power number too.
Oh man. Okay, so what are the things that this card can do? We gotta think like because on reveals are so OP. Like what do you even? There's got to be a ton of them. Tucker, help us out.
The classics, like you got the Jubilee, your Jubilee, your White Tiger. You know, like I said, the destroy cards are pretty interesting. I mean. Can you play this in Phoenix Force, kid? Like, I don't. There's a lot of honor reveals.
It's a targeted destroy too, which is cool too. It only destroys the cards that did their honor reveal again.
So, yeah, that's nuts.
You can keep the rest of the cards in your lane safe if you wanted to as well. So,
yeah, I don't know if it'd be a good Phoenix Force.
Zola things.
if you ramp Zola, right?
Yep.
Oh my god! I mean, it's
a
5/10 Odin. I mean, it's kind of a way to think about it, right? Like this is a 5/10 Odin.
Save board space though.
Yeah, it just you got a little side effect at the end, which maybe you could use to your advantage if you're playing a destroy or like Phoenix Force or something, right? But even if you don't, even if you just kill the cards, like a lot of on reveal cards are low power anyway. So you know if they die, maybe you're just clearing out board space anyway. You know, it's like I don't know, man. This seems insane.
Shuri Kitty value maybe.
Ooh. Oh, double Shuri. Yeah.
You
oh my god.
Oh yeah, because this is a 20, and then you put so it's a 20, and then you just go back to that lane. That's pretty hilarious.
Man, you could you could Red Guardian, like Killmonger twice again, Rock Slide again.
Oh god, Rock Slide.
My god, yeah.
Hazmat again.
Yeah, even goodness. Just White Widow, like White Widow's on the Rock Slide, you know, like you're probably playing White Widow anyway, you know.
Yep.
Why not just play him on the another
Widow? It does bike. All of the honor reveals in that location too. So like,
yeah, you stack them. Yeah, Jubilee's pretty nuts. Yeah, Shuri's pretty nuts. Leech isn't that good. I don't think. Iron Lad. Oh man, this card's gonna be sick. This card's gonna be so cool.
Mhm.
And cool
I'm
cards
excited
with it
for it.
this week too, like with Nomura things, like safety's list is still holding up and it's really solid.
Yeah.
And then War Machine, woohoo!
Yeah.
He's buffed.
Oh man, yeah. You get a second Namora with this guy. With this card, this card's gonna be cool. This card, Misery, is gonna be fun. Namora, I don't know. I've talked so much shit about this card that like I'm not gonna stop now. Dog shit card that I don't own.
No, it's good
it's
though.
good.
It's good.
I know.
You
I'm
don't
joking.
like it, but it's
I'm
got
just-
good
I'm just-
stats.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's really good in the one list. That one list that it's in is like an insanely good like list, which is like one of the top cube rate lists. Like I think that I see constantly. That list is really good. It's just I don't have Nomura, so I like to talk crap about it. But yeah, I'm excited to get her actually this week. We'll be good. And then yeah, War Machine. Yeah, poor War Machine. He's a 4/7. He's
It's a deck
alright,
building
you
month,
know?
bro. It's a deck building month.
Exactly. I don't know. I feel like Misery is going to be a pretty good card. Maybe like, do you think Misery is as versatile as the other cards, or like even like the one we just had, the 2/1?
So I think Scream may be honestly more niche than Misery.
Yeah,
I agree.
And
Maybe,
I like
yeah.
that. But just wait. I'm just saying. Just wait.
Yeah,
You're
man.
gonna
All
see
right.
some
Well,
things.
it's crap. So 5/10 and 5/10 are pretty good stats. Like I'm not mad about playing a 5/10.
And they have a downside normally. When you play like these, like you think of Typhoid Mirror, you think of old, Dr. Octopus, you think of Cold Obsidian, you think of Crossbones, you think of Atuma. These like premium stat lines at 10 have to have some sort of like drawback, and their drawback here is you kill the other cards to the location and give yourself board space.
Yeah, it's great. Even like the hood,
Mm-hmm.
like just it's great just to get a free demon, another demon.
Yeah,
for no
that
reason.
Would go in a kind of White Widow, Rock Slide kind of deck. You could just have all three.
Oh my God, White Widow, Jesus,
Yeah,
White Widow's insane.
Yeah,
or Cersei, you can even do it on Cersei.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
it might be a little scary then, but
Yeah. It'd be crazy. All right. Good card. I'm excited for this.
I think it's
I'm
more-
spending spotlights this week.
Like it's more versatile than the last one because I mean, on reveals half the cards in the game, and anytime like moving your own cards is not that bad of a condition to me, but moving your opponent's cards is pretty niche. Take it from a Kingpin enjoyer, like there's very specific cards you have to run in your deck, and it doesn't always work out. So it's nice that deck's getting that, but it's way more of a niche card. Like it's not easy to move your opponent's cards.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's
Oh,
see the next
Juggernaut!
one.
Juggernaut with the last card's really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing
Oh
that.
yeah,
out
move
there.
your opponent's cards with the jug.
Yeah.
All right, we have Scorn. The next one. Scorn is a 1/2
Cool art.
that is really cool art. When you discard this, give its power to one of your cards in play. Return this to hand with +1 power.
So you discard this. You just get
Oh.
you get a plus. Oh, give its power.
Man, this is like you said, Tucker. Deck building is gonna be sick, dude. Yeah, so like if it's a 1/2, like you blade this, you give 2 power to a random card on the, or you discard this, you give 2 power to a random card on your board. Then it comes back in hand as a 1/3.
Yeah, and I'm thinking you play like a Gwenpool or something, right? Like you play, you start pumping. Like even Nakia. I mean, Nakia would be kind of sick with this. Like, just Nakia into MODOK or something. And he comes back. He comes back like the same way APOC comes back, the same way that Swarm comes back. So, unfortunately he's an odd card, so he doesn't work with Moon Knight. That would be sick if I could play him with Moon Knight. But just Blade MODOK, Corvus, like, yeah, man, this is a sweet discard
Silver
card. I'm
Samurai.
pumped for this.
Yeah, Silver Samurai would be good.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
Man,
one.
this is we were talking about this like the last couple of weeks, how like it seems like hard, even like when Hydra Bob came out, it seems hard for them to make 1-drops that can be meaningful, because it's just tough, because they can't be like so OP. But like this is a really, really cool effect for a 1-drop. Realistically, how many times, like if you get this off twice, is it good?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
twice is
it's
good.
really
Yeah,
good.
so that's
once
5
is okay. But twice is
5
very
power for free, because you don't have to play this card.
Yeah.
So even if you get the ability off twice, that's 5 power on your board for free. And then you could play this as then it'll be a 1/4, right?
Yeah.
Then you could play it as a 1/4 on whatever turn. I guess even if you get it off once, it's a 1/5, right?
Yeah.
If
You get 2 power and
Yeah.
then you just play it for a
when
1/3.
you play it, yeah.
Oh, okay. This is a pretty cool card. This is a pretty
getting
cool card.
I'm getting like X23 vibes from like as far as power level.
Yes.
Like it feels like
X23 of
X23.
discard.
Yeah.
Because
I
you're
love
doing
it. Go Tucker.
Yeah,
because
you
you're
go ahead,
literally
Tucker. We're
like so like
spitballing.
I love discard, and it is my favorite archetype right now. Like not even just like Black Knight. Like I've been playing the absolute mess out of Chase's Gwenpool discard list, and then I talk with Chase all the time, so we revamped it a little bit with the Moon Knight change, and that's what I hit Infinite with. And if you get this to hit Gwenpool on 4, and then you Modoc this, I mean, more often than not, when it comes to your like turn 6 play, you're just throwing stuff on the board for your, your Dracula to get big. So if you've discarded this a couple times, throwing down a 1/4 doesn't seem all that bad. And if you have the perfect curve, okay, so if you do Colleen this card, it becomes the furthest rightmost card in your hand. So you can go Colleen into Blade and immediately get that power into 1 turn, and then you can Modoc it again, and then it's a 1/5. So then you're playing a 1/5 out on the board. And like I think you can still play Meek at the same time. Meek getting this extra power on the board is actually pretty crucial. So like I think this card is going to be incredible. It's what discard kind of needed to be even more competitive, I feel, because it kind of is like it's definitely draw dependent. It's very combo heavy. But you literally said exactly what I was thinking. No big deal. It is the X23 of discard because you're doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I am so pumped. The variants for this card are absolutely peak too. So like, I am excited. Like, oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah, this looks really, really cool. It would be so nice if Moon Knight hit this card too, just with the new change. I actually love the new Moon Knight change. Like I used to like not play discard or like discard, but like I've been playing a decent amount of it with the new Moon Knight change, just with like regular discard decks, and I love it, man. I'm like, man, this is really, really cool. Man, this card's so interesting. It's gonna have to go in discard decks, but it will give like, yeah, man, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I would even, I don't want to poo poo or but like if this card came out today, I think discard would probably be the best deck in the game. Like if this card comes out like right now, like this, like God, this thing's insane. And like all the things Tucker mentioned, I was thinking too, like a lot of the time, like the stars don't align, and I end up with like a Proxima Midnight in my hand, which you like Dracula hitting Proxima Midnight, like that's pretty nice. It's a 4/8, and then the 7 goes somewhere else. Gives you some spread power instead of having to go, the 20 APOC with the Dracula. You could leave Scorn in your hand, just fucking play everything else. Just leave your 5 or 6 power Scorn. Like, Dracula hits that. Your Morbius gets pumped. 6 power goes somewhere else. Like, I mean, it's not so bad. And that's like Modoc friendly strategy when you don't draw your Swarm or whatever, right? So. I think this is like crazy in discard, like really, really, really good in discard. So, and discard is already pretty good, I think.
Oh, I cannot wait for this card.
Yeah, you were poo-pooing on discard a little bit earlier, but I think discard is pretty good.
I just think Zoo is just a little bit more power than discard just currently, But this is gonna give discard more power than Zoo.
What do you cut? What do you cut for this card?
All right, let's pull up the list. Let's figure it out.
Is it Meek? I know, Tucker, you're talking about putting it with Meek.
So you can cut Meek if you want, but I don't think you have to cut Meek. I think you can kind of fine tune this list a little bit more. I don't know. I have Moon Knight on mine. You maybe don't have to have Moon Knight. Maybe
I'll say, do you just cut Moon Knight?
I was saying Moon Knight. I was going to say Moon Knight just because it's an odd card. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why I was getting sad in my head at first. I'm like, I kind of love Moon Knight right now.
Colleen, but Colleen works with this card, which is like you kind of want him. Or I mean, I have Strong Guy in my list. Like maybe I just take out the Strong Guy. Like I don't know,
Yeah, because I have Gwenpool in mine still, and I think Gwenpool's value. So I took out Wolverine for Moon Knight, and I think you could take out the Moon Knight for Scorn, and I think the Gwenpool value you can still get in this list is incredible. It doesn't always have to Swarm. People always like, Tucker, why are you playing Gwenpool if it doesn't hit the Swarm? It's like if that hits Proxima and you get a 4/9 or a 4/11 Proxima.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Gwenpool's nuts, and I gotta try Gwenpool in discard. I'm gonna steal your list, Tucker. I know you posted like day one when you hit Infinite on Twitter. I was like, oh, this motherfucker got so good Infinite already. Like with the cool fucking discard list too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great.
But it's either Meek or Moon Knight, and it just really depends on your feel and what you have. I still think I like Meek. Meek wins me games because it has the move mechanic.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to cut. Yeah, I don't want to cut Meek, and I think this card pairs with Meek pretty good.
Yeah.
Like Tucker said, if the 3 power goes on the Meek, like that's pretty sick. And like I have Moon Knight Strong Guy in my deck right now. I think I would cut both for Score and Gwenpool, because if Gwenpool hits the Score, and I mean, my God, like imagine it hits it twice, like, and your score's at like a 1/9 or something. Like they discard it again, you get 9 power on the board. Like fuck, man, that's insane. So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting for sure.
All right, man, this month is ridiculous, dude. I'm gonna go broke.
October's hype, man.
You are actually gonna go broke because we haven't even gone over everything yet.
Oh man, okay, there's still 2 more. Man, it's a 5. All right, we have Toxin. Toxin is a 3/2 on reveal.
Oh.
Return your other cards here to your hand, +2 power for each return. Are you kidding me?
It's like Beast.
This is a better Beast.
This Beast on steroids.
Yeah, it's a Beast Wolfsbane. What the hell? This can't release like this, right?
No, this one's too strong.
Well, there's no cost reduction though. It's not like Beast, so your cards aren't getting cost reduction.
That's true.
But then you Beast this again, and then you do it again.
Oh man, this is gonna be a sick bounce card.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a pretty cool, like, any card, any cheap. What about like White Widow? Like, I'm not mad about playing a 2/4 White Widow on turn 4 with something else after you've already played like a White Widow for 2/2.
Well, Toxin gets the power opposed to the other cards.
Oh, he gets it.
That's why I said
he gets the power.
It's Wolfsbane.
Oh yeah. Oh man, so yeah, I'll play a White Widow again.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a junk card for debris? Just get debris back again, like
debris, bounce, and then like you beast this, and then you play this again on. So like you beast this on turn 4, so you get to be able to do it again on turn 5. And maybe I'm coping, okay, but like Toxin and Black Swan. So like you bounce the cards back up, and then you Black Swan in the same turn, and then like all those cost less, and then Toxin's also got additional power again.
This card seems pretty good. Yeah. This card seems pretty good. Yeah, I guess like the not minusing power like Beast.
Yeah,
because that's makes it not broken. But it seems like a cool card, man. I mean, it seems like a good card. This is a card I want to have.
3/6. We're talking about speed being bad at 3/6, but hey, we get to bounce this back and get more power than speed can ever get. So like,
yeah, if we play it twice, we're gonna get bigger than speed here. Yeah,
like, and a lot of like, because a lot of the like 1 cost and 2 costs, like they're like not heavily statted, so they have to cope for having good on reveals. You just get those on reveals again, like that's why bounce is so good. You get all this, the hood. You just get the hood again, like just anything with this guy.
You don't draw your Beast and you don't draw your Falcon all the time, so you have a third card that can do what they can do. That's what bounce needed to be even more it's already amazingly competitive, and now you have another card just in case.
Oh, dude, he's a better Falcon. You cut Falcon immediately for this guy. Falcon sometimes gets cut from bounce lists. This guy's just a way better Falcon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it probably is, but Falcon's a 2, right? And Falcon reaches the whole board. I'm like, to Tucker's point, maybe just play all 3 and run it. Just
cut Bishop, because this gets bigger than Bishop.
And if you are playing all 3, like Tucker said, then you probably could play Black Swan if you're playing.
If you want to, or you just play Monkey. Like you could play Monkey out on tempo, and then get Monkey back into your hand. Like it's gonna be good. I can't wait.
Carlos,
my dog doesn't like the Toxin.
It's too toxic for him.
That's great. Yeah, with Elsa too, they want the flood meta. They think it's like a flood bounce card.
Please change Zabu though. Hopefully Zabu is an activate at this point, so it's actually worth opening spotlights for, which is what I'm thinking, because the cards we've seen so far, aren't any activate cards like September's cards. So I'm wondering if they do in a patch or like an OTA, they add more activate to flush out that new type of card and everything.
Yeah, because they did have that cryptic message like, oh, Zabu's gonna have a change later, but you'll know, it'll make more sense later on, and everyone's like postulating it's gonna be activate, which it might be.
Yeah,
I hope it is. That'd be kind of cool.
They're gonna change Zabu before this week, probably. Yeah, before October 22nd.
It's a cool Elsa variant too. The Zabu variant's cool. It looks like Lion King almost.
Yep, it's the Sean Galloway, so it's just like the Shauna and the Kazar.
Yeah, those
and everything.
I love those.
I don't have a Zabu variant yet. I still need one.
You need this one or the next Spotlight one that doesn't have a release date yet, which is probably the best Zabu variant, but we'll get there at some point.
I love it. Toxin seems pretty good. I would say as far as all the cards we went through so far, this is the one I'm the least excited for, but doesn't mean I'm not excited for it.
Okay.
Like I'll take this over speed any day of the week. Like speed seems boring to me.
You got to be a
this
bounce
card
pro.
seems like a cool card.
If you're a bounce player, like if you're Glazer, like this is by far your favorite card. You know, like if your name is Glazer, you know.
Yeah, Gnome already. I was talking to Gnome about it, and Gnome is like sold.
Yeah, he's gotta love it, right? He loves bounce.
Like if you're .geo, like you're just like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, this looks like a cool dude. Yeah, man.
I'm with you.
This month's ridiculous.
Yeah, if I play some bounce, and yeah, I mean, of course you play this card in it. Like
I'm gonna play bounce this week. I don't care.
Yeah. You got to do it. Yeah.
I'm going in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next one, last one of the month here.
Oh,
we have anti-venom. On reveal, set the cost and power of your deck's top card to 0. What? I gotta think about this.
My first impression is not very good, you know. But maybe there's like something I'm missing, right? Because it's gonna be a 0/0. So you basically turn your card into Arnim Zola, right? So like, you know, it better have a sick effect, like because it's got 0 power now, right? So
you build around this for sure.
What was that?
You have to.
You have to build around this. So like you're talking about Zola at a 0/0.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds sick. But also,
is this a negative card?
I was thinking
this has got to be.
I was thinking Luke Cage was the first thing, because then it's like, all right, maybe I don't know, maybe you got some cost, like power reduction stuff, and you know then the power doesn't go to 0. You know, you just get to keep that power. You got Luke Cage, but the cost, the cost is still 0.
Yeah, you definitely have to build around this. This is a cool card. I don't know how good it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be good, to be honest with you. My initial first impressions, I don't think it's going to be that good. I think it will be pretty cool. But I think, do you just throw this in a negative deck and like all the cards that are like zero power, they like are just 0, like you said, Tucker, Iron Man, Mystique, I don't know, Sage, that kind of stuff.
I think it's pretty flexible too. I think you build around this, like a 0/0 Null sounds pretty good. A 0/0 Taskmaster sounds pretty good. A 0/0 Shuri sounds pretty good. Like I think it's definitely something you got to think about. Like, what do I care if it's actually going to be a 0/0? Like if it's a 0/0 Infinite and final turn I play Infinite and I play Luke Cage, I just dropped down 20 power. I floated the final turn, but I was able to do all this other stuff too. So I think it's definitely something you got to think about going into and build around it. I like it for the Mr. Negative interactions, potentially even destroy. I think there's some Luke Cage value here too, but it's definitely not like, oh, boom, I know immediately this goes into this list. I think it's definitely going to take a lot more thought with this one and when it comes to Agent Venom than the other 3 cards this season.
Yeah, even like a Wong, getting a 0/0 Wong.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Pretty awesome. A Jubilee's awesome. Anything you can just throw down, like 0 power Wong with like your Nomura on turn 5. It's pretty awesome.
It's a surprise card, something you could snap depending on what your top deck is. Maybe you finally get some Howard the Duck value.
You know, I didn't think of that. Yeah,
even ongoing, you get a 0/0 Onslaught. Like that's still like,
or the Iron Man, like the Iron Man's great too. Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, he's pretty sweet.
Even just Tribunal too, like a 0. Well, maybe not so much as you want the power of Tribunal, but still having it cost 0 is pretty nice. Yeah. It's interesting. The one thing that gave me pause about it initially is the top of the deck part of it, right? I'm thinking of like America Chavez, for example. Obviously, it's a +2 is different than make it cost 0. I'd rather it cost 0 than get +2. But you got to play a 4/6. Then you got to draw the card. Then you got to hopefully have the right combo, and then, hopefully that card didn't need power, or some way to make the card have power. Maybe you hit like your Jeff or what, some early curve card. Cause you can't just play all 6s. Maybe you can, right? But say you're playing this in a Lockjaw deck or something, which kind of makes sense. Cause you want to play 0s into a Lockjaw. Well, so I can see this working with Lockjaw, but like, this hits your Wasp or whatever, like you're just like, oh god damn. So I don't know. It seems like a few stars need to align, but maybe like massive ceiling if they do.
I think I would like this card a lot more as a 3 cost.
Yes,
personally.
Yeah.
I don't know if like the I don't know if you have enough time to do stuff
like a 3/4,
like 5 and 6.
Like a Fastos kind of dilemma. Yeah.
Yeah. where you're like you have it and you have some time to think and try and make it work a little bit. Because like only having 2 turns, I think is like, does it draw you the card?
No,
it doesn't even draw
like
for
America
you.
Chavez. Yeah,
if it drew it for you, that might be more interesting at a 4/6.
I'll be crazy. Yeah.
You know.
No.
I don't know. Like, I think it's just too late. Yeah, it's just like because then it's your cards. Like, you definitely have to have your deck built around it, like you said, Tucker, for sure. Because then if you're 5th draw, like you're drawing turn 5, if that's like just crap, like you're kind of screwed. Like your turn 4 was a 4/6, which is not that good, like at all.
I hope you have your untapped tracker ready so you can see what's in your deck.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
The Howard might not even be memes. Like he might actually like this. That might be optimal with this card.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. I would like it at a lower cost. Yeah, Super Giant. This variant is sick on Super Giant.
Yeah,
and then Ghost Spider.
Thought with this Spotlight Cash. My God, that Super Giant variant's unreal.
Yeah, and then Ghost Spider is kind of cool too. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man, this month looks nuts.
You get some snap equity with Howard for sure. Like if you have Howard and you're holding the anti-venom and you see what it's about to hit, like you can snap beforehand. They can't really leave. Like you just have a Howard sitting there. Like what are they gonna do? Like retreat? Oh no, they got Howard. I got to retreat. Like like you're getting those cubes. So it's pretty fun. Pretty fun card for sure.
I think it's gonna be really fun in a Howard deck, and I'm excited to try it in a Howard deck. I'm not gonna lie. That's awesome. Oh man, this month looks insane. These new cards look insane. This month looks.
I'm loving this month. Yeah,
amazing. Oh my God. All right. Well, Jesus, that's awesome. Next week, SnapCon.
Yes,
Tucker.
bro.
All right. Before we go, we got to ask you. You were there last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do we expect? What's it going to be like? What's kind of like? Give us the down low here, man.
All right, so you're gonna show up to SnapCon. You're gonna go to the VIP event. You're gonna link up with all the homies. We're gonna eat some food. We're gonna have some drinks. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna be connecting with people from all across the planet. Honestly, we got some people from Europe flying in, people from West Coast, people from Canada, people from South America. We got the whole entire crew is gonna be there. Meeting up. We all love Snap. We're all passionate about it. And then the next day, everything's pretty much going to be live streamed. We're going to have panels. We're going to have game shows. We're going to have a tournament going on. And it's just going to be all around good vibes. People are going to be networking. People are going to be chilling. Some people are just going to be in the corner because, it just happens sometimes. But
like any party. Like any party.
It's a party.
But
it's going to be freaking awesome. I'm going to be able to hang out with these guys right here. It's going to be freaking sick. And, it's going to be all streamed live on either Felicity's channel or on Power On Gaming's Twitch channel as well. And, it's going to be freaking sick, bro.
Yeah, dude, I'm real excited for it. I'm really excited to meet everyone, just have a good time. Just have a good time. Seems like a pretty cool event. Last year seemed pretty cool. Felicity seems to do an amazing job. So, props to her, man, putting it all together. Gunny T is going to be running the tournament, the tournament master there. So it's going to be cool to meet everyone, man. It's going to just be awesome. I'm just real excited. I'm real excited. And hey, again, too, I want to say, Tucker, man, thanks so much for coming on the show, bro. We appreciate it. We love talking to you. I love your energy. Like No Big Deal said, your stream is bar none. One of the best out there, dude.
It's my favorite Snap stream.
I thank you guys so much. For all the kind words, for having me. This is a freaking blast. Just being able to talk Snap is so good. And having the energy that's reciprocated too is always the best too. So you guys are incredible. And I keep up with you guys and you guys are freaking killing it.
We appreciate it, dude. We appreciate it, dude. No big deal. What do you got to say to the people, my man?
Well, hey, man, SnapCon next week. If anyone wants a last minute, you want to come chill with us, felicity.gg/SnapCon. Check it out. You could buy last minute tickets. They're still available. So yeah, check it out and just bring a name tag or something. She said you don't get a name badge or you do it later. Who cares, man? Print out a paper, put a little name tag. It'll be hilarious. You'll be the life of the party if you do that. So check it out if you want to come hang. Check out Tucker's stream, obviously, and I'm pumped for the Scream card, man. The King, this move the other cards deck. I feel like we're just a little piece away. We got the Kingpin, we got the Steggy's okay, Steggy's still not great, but the Scream, our opponents are going to be screaming in pain as I suck two power and launch it onto my screen every single turn. You're going to be screaming, fuck. I gotta play Shadow King. I gotta play Luke Cage. How am I gonna counter this? I can't Shadow King all 3 lanes. I can't Luke Cage. You know, I got a Luke Cage for just my side, but the Scream's still sitting there at 2.7. You're gonna be screaming, and I'm pumped for that card. So, you know, shout out to the Marvel Snap dev team for making sick fucking card design always. You know, they always do that. So, you know, keep snapping and enjoy. And we'll see what the hell we're gonna do for our pod next week. I have no idea. We're gonna be in Florida in a hotel, so if we can figure something out, we will. But if not, you know, hopefully just be patient with us. You know.
No, bro, we're gonna live stream on Riverside on in the middle of SnapCon and just talk to a bunch of people and just fucking have a live pod and who gives a shit.
I like it.
For a couple hours. It's gonna be hilarious.
Well,
and we gotta call Joe. Joe's not gonna be there. We gotta have him in.
We gotta FaceTime Joe or something.
Yeah. Again, Tucker, thanks so much, boys. Peace!